There comes a time in every person's journey when the path seems slow, the rewards distant, and the world restless with noise and haste. It is in such moments that true power begins to stir, not in the form of loud declarations or hurried actions, but in the quiet discipline of patience. For those who understand the art of waiting with purpose, every second becomes an investment, every delay a sharpening of the blade. Power does not always roar. Sometimes it watches, listens, and prepares in silence. The ones who achieve lasting greatness are not always the fastest, but the wisest. They study their moment, control their emotions, and strike only when the time is right, because they know that real victory is not in the chaos of constant action, but in the clarity of well-timed execution. Patience, then, is not weakness. It is the furnace where champions are forged. To wait with purpose, to hold your ground when everything pushes you to move, and then to act with precision. That is the mark of those who win not just big, but smart. This is not about doing less, it is about doing right. It is not about silence without vision, but quiet strength that sees further than others can dream. And in that stillness, the world begins to shift, for patience, when mastered, becomes an unstoppable power. There is a strength so profound, so underestimated, that it is often ignored by those who hunger for quick victories and instant success. It does not shout. It does not race. It does not compete with noise. Yet it prevails over time, over chaos, over all who burn out in their haste. This is the silent strength, patience. It is the quality that separates those who flash for a moment from those who shine for a lifetime. It is not the force that charges blindly ahead, but the quiet power that waits, watches, and wins. In the course of a life dedicated to purpose, the impatient man will stumble more often than he steps. He will plant seeds and dig them up before they bloom. He will chase every glittering opportunity without realizing that the real treasure lies in persistence and preparation. The patient man, however, understands a different rhythm. He is aligned with a deeper law, a greater truth, one that rewards consistency over chaos, strategy over speed. True winners are not the loudest in the room, but the ones who endure. They are forged not in the fire of momentary applause, but in the stillness of long nights, the waiting periods, the seasons of obscurity. When others panic, they breathe. When others rush, they measure. When others give up, they persist. And in doing so, they become unshakable. Not because life doesn't hit them, but because they have built their foundation in stillness, not in storm. Consider the bamboo tree. It spends years beneath the ground growing roots. No visible growth is seen for a long time, and yet when it finally breaks through the surface, it shoots up rapidly and powerfully. What looks like sudden success is really the result of hidden preparation. So it is with the patient soul. Every act of waiting, every moment of discipline, every delayed gratification is laying the foundation for an explosion of results that can no longer be denied. People often mistake inaction for weakness, but there is a vast difference between doing nothing and doing the invisible work of patience. The inner battles you fight, the emotions you master, the faith you hold when evidence is absent, these are the true indicators of power. A lion does not roar while it hunts. It moves silently, strategically, and strikes with overwhelming force when the moment arrives. In business, in relationships, in personal growth, those who excel understand timing. They do not make decisions out of desperation. They act when the ground is firm, when the target is clear, when their mind is still and their vision is unclouded. Their patience sharpens their instincts. It tempers their ego. It makes them more resilient in the face of setbacks because they never expected the journey to be quick. They expected it to be worth it. Think of the most successful individuals you admire. Look closely, and you will find that behind every triumph was a time of delay, a season of doubt, a period of invisibility. And it was in those moments that their character was shaped, their thinking refined, their strength tested. The mountain climber is not defined by the summit, but by the climb. The slips, the cold, the waiting, the slow progress. Those are the things that make him worthy of the view. Patience is not passive. It is intensely active. It requires faith when there is no proof. It demands vision when there is no sign. It forces you to grow in the dark before you can lead in the light. Most people will never see your discipline, your restraint, your long nights of unseen work. But when your time comes, they will call you lucky. Let them. You will know the truth, that your strength was never in speed but in silence. In every moment you feel forgotten, remember, diamonds form under pressure and in the dark. Oaks stand tall because their roots went deep first. The strongest structures are those that took the longest to build. The same is true for your destiny. If you are in a season of waiting, do not despise it. Use it. Train your mind. Strengthen your will. Feed your faith. Prepare with intention. Because when your moment arrives, and it will, you must be ready to step forward not with noise, but with undeniable power. The world may crown the visible winners, but time will always reward the silent strength. Let others race ahead if they must. Or let them speak of shortcuts and easy roads. You are not called to the fast life. You are called to the firm life, the solid life, the life that lasts. And that life is built on patience, so hold your ground. Guard your vision. Trust your process, because every moment of waiting is making you unshakable. Every delay is building your depth, and every quiet hour you endure is pushing you one step closer to victory. Not just any victory, but one that cannot be taken from you. That is the power of patience. That is the strength that wins forever. There is a difference between waiting in weakness and waiting in power. One delays because of doubt, the other delays because of strategy. The one who waits like a warrior does not simply pass time. He prepares, he sharpens, he strengthens. His silence is not surrender, it is calculated composure. He is not ignoring the battle, he is mastering the moment. He understands that delays are not denials. They are invitations to build a deeper foundation, to turn stillness into strength, and to rise, not with noise, but with dominance. Most people crumble in delay. They see time passing and grow restless, anxious, defeated. They rush into action not out of confidence, but out of fear that they are being forgotten. But the one who waits like a warrior sees time as a gift. Every day without movement becomes a day for mastery. Every hour without spotlight becomes a sacred opportunity to rehearse greatness in silence. He does not envy those who rise fast, because he knows fast victories are often hollow ones. He is not playing the short game. He is building a legacy. The warrior in waiting trains with intensity. When no one is watching, he feeds his mind with knowledge, disciplines his body, protects his emotions, and chooses stillness when noise tempts him. He is unmoved by the opinions of the crowd because he is anchored in a mission bigger than applause. While others waste their energy in reaction, he channels his power into preparation, and when his moment comes, he does not knock timidly. He kicks the door wide open. Look at the eagle. It does not flinch at storms. It does not scatter with the flock. It soars above, scanning the horizon, waiting for the wind to shift in its favor. When the time is right, it dives. Not with hesitation, but with speed and precision. So too does the warrior. He does not fear the quiet seasons. He does not resent the slowness of growth. He uses that time to fly higher than others dared to dream. The delays in life are not obstacles. They are proving grounds. Every setback is a lesson in disguise. Every disappointment is a sharpening of your edge. Those who see delays as the end of the road will never know the thrill of arriving stronger than they started. But those who wait with intention, who push forward inwardly while the world stands still, will emerge with power that cannot be ignored. Victory does not belong to the one who moves first. It belongs to the one who moves best. It belongs to the one who is so well prepared that when opportunity presents itself, he does not hesitate. He dominates. His time in waiting has turned him into a force of nature. His every step is calculated. His every word carries weight. His every move shakes the ground because it was birthed in a season of deep personal growth. Imagine the power of a life where no time is wasted, where even delay is turned into fuel. This is the secret of the warrior. He does not need the battle to be loud. He needs it to be real. He does not act for appearance. He acts with purpose. His life is not built on excitement, but on excellence, and excellence takes time. When others are frustrated by pause, he smiles in the silence, because he knows that what he's building cannot be rushed. He's not interested in temporary applause. He's committed to permanent transformation. The longer he waits, the deeper his roots go. The deeper his roots, the taller he can grow. And when he finally rises, no wind can shake him. This mindset requires faith, not blind belief, but focused conviction, the kind of faith that sees value in every season, the kind that does not need instant results to know progress is happening, the kind that believes delays are refining him, not punishing him. And because he holds this belief, he does not shrink. He expands. It is not weakness to wait. It is wisdom. It is not failure to delay a move. It is foresight. The greatest warriors in history did not charge at every sign of resistance. They studied the field. They understood their enemies. They measured their own forces. And then, when it mattered most, they acted with overwhelming power. That is what it means to wait like a warrior. It means you are dangerous even in stillness. When you carry yourself this way, life begins to respect your discipline. You stop attracting distractions and start aligning with destiny. People see your consistency. Opportunities find your readiness. The world recognizes your silence is not absence. It is a storm gathering its force. There will always be those who mock the quiet ones. Let them. The roar of the crowd is temporary, but the strength of a warrior is timeless. Wait with your eyes open. Wait with your armor on. Wait with your heart set on fire. And when the signal comes, let there be no hesitation, no doubt, no delay. Strike with the force of every moment you used well in silence, because dominance is not claimed in haste. It is earned in hidden hours. And the one who waits with power will one day walk through every door, not with arrogance, but with authority. In the race of life, many run without direction, chasing everything and mastering nothing. They confuse motion with meaning, noise with achievement, speed with success. But the wise understand a deeper truth. Not every movement is progress, and not every strike leads to victory. True success, lasting, intelligent, unshakable success, comes not from constant action, but from stillness guided by purpose. It comes from waiting for the precise moment to strike, because the smartest winds are never the loudest. They are born in quiet preparation and delivered with bold, decisive timing. To strike at the right time is not about hesitation. It is about harmony. It is about aligning your energy, your effort, and your opportunity with surgical precision. The eagle soaring high in the sky doesn't dive at every shadow it sees. It watches. It waits. It moves only when the prey is within reach. And when it strikes, it does not miss. That is the power of stillness married to intention. That is the strength of knowing when, not just how, to move. In a world addicted to urgency, patience becomes a superpower. While others wear themselves out trying to be everywhere, do everything, and please everyone, the person who lives by strategy listens to silence. They think deeply, they act slowly, and they move with absolute certainty when the moment comes. Their every step carries the weight of preparation. Their every decision echoes wisdom built in solitude. And that is why they win, not because they were first, but because they were ready. There is something sacred about stillness. It clears the fog of emotion. It silences the noise of doubt. It reveals what truly matters. And when you stand still long enough, not with fear, but with focus, life begins to show you where to go. The opportunities that once seemed invisible rise to the surface. The path that once felt uncertain begins to unfold. It is in the quiet that clarity is born. Think of the master chess player. He does not rush his moves. He studies the board. He watches his opponent. He thinks 3, 5, 10 steps ahead. When he finally lifts a piece, it is not with uncertainty. It is with full awareness of the consequences. And because of that, he rarely has to recover from mistakes. His stillness is his shield. His timing is his weapon. His mind is his power. Life is much the same. You are not in competition with the noise. You are in competition with your own discipline. Can you resist the pressure to act when the moment is not right? Can you sit in the quiet when everything in you wants to move? Can you trust your preparation enough to wait until your strike will count? If you can, you will rise while others fall. You will endure while others burn out. You will dominate while others dissolve. Stillness does not mean inaction. It means intelligent preparation. It means sharpening your skills, refining your thoughts, mastering your habits. It means becoming so ready that when the door finally opens, you don't walk. You run through it with the force of 1,000 silent hours. The world sees the strike, but you know it was born in the stillness. Many people fail not because they lack talent, but because they move too soon. They speak without thinking. They invest without research. They act without alignment. And then they wonder why their results are shallow and their impact weak. They confuse movement with momentum. But real power comes from restraint, from observation, from calculated readiness, from knowing that the right action at the wrong time is the same as failure. There is wisdom in waiting. There is strength in stillness. There is courage in holding your ground until everything in you knows the time is now. The storm does not rush. It gathers. It builds. And when it unleashes, it changes everything. You must become that kind of force, not constant but certain, not loud but lasting. Success that comes from stillness is the kind that cannot be shaken. It is built on deep roots, not shallow efforts. It is earned, not stumbled upon. It is the kind of success that follows you for a lifetime, not just a season. Because when you learn to wait well, you learn to win well. And when you strike with purpose, the world feels it. The disciplined mind sees time as an ally, not an enemy. It uses every moment to prepare, to grow, to learn, to plan. And then, when the environment shifts, when the door opens, when the stage is set, it does not hesitate. It acts with full power. That is how smart wins are made, not by reacting, but by responding with purpose. So train your spirit in stillness. Strengthen your mind in quiet. Sharpen your talents in solitude. And watch how your presence begins to carry weight. When you speak, people listen. When you move, results follow. When you act, things change. Not because you are everywhere, but because you are exactly where you need to be. Let others chase the wind. Let them burn themselves out trying to prove something to the world. You are not called to prove. You are called to prepare. You are not here to impress. You are here to impact. And impact is never born from panic. It is born from peace. To strike at the right time is to move with confidence rooted in clarity. It is to lead with wisdom born in waiting. It is to know that victory is not always about speed. It is about mastery. And mastery is built in the stillness no one sees. So wait with strength. Prepare with patience. And when your time comes, strike hard, strike true, and let the world witness what stillness can do. There is a space between impulse and action, between the thought and the decision, between pressure and performance. That space is where the true masters of life operate. It is called the pause. It is not the absence of effort. It is the presence of power. It is the inner stillness that allows you to respond instead of react, to choose instead of chase, to lead instead of follow. The one who learns to master the pause holds the key to every bold move in life. For within that pause lies the clarity that turns chaos into command. Most people miss the pause. They rush from thought to action, from fear to decision, from failure to frustration. They feel the urge to act and jump without calculation. But those who achieve lasting greatness do not allow urgency to control their destiny. They understand the power of waiting one more moment, just long enough to think deeply, to breathe fully, to act wisely. The pause is their preparation. It is where their inner world gains alignment before they make an outer move. A bold move is not made in noise. It is born in clarity. The kind of clarity that only exists when the mind is calm, the heart is steady, and the spirit is focused. When you master the pause, you become the architect of your own choices. You do not act because of fear, competition, or external pressure. You act because you are grounded in truth. That pause, short as it may be, is your most valuable possession in a world that worships speed. Imagine the moment before a champion speaks. Imagine the seconds before a leader steps onto the stage. Imagine the breath before the athlete makes the shot. In each of these moments, there is a pause, a gathering of strength, a centering of intention. Without that pause, even the most gifted individual can falter. But with it, every move becomes deliberate, every step carries weight, and every decision changes the game. The pause is the separation between the average and the extraordinary. The average act in emotion. The extraordinary wait until emotion is shaped by wisdom. The average chase opportunity. The extraordinary create it in the quiet. The average fall under pressure. The extraordinary rise because they have trained in silence. The pause gives you mastery over time, energy, and influence. In every conversation, there is a moment to pause before speaking. In every challenge, a pause before reacting. In every opportunity, a pause before committing. It is in that space that you gather control over your destiny. It is in that silence that you hear the voice of your purpose more clearly than the noise of the world. And from that place of stillness, you make moves that matter. Not temporary noise, but timeless impact. Think of the great sculptor. He does not strike marble blindly. He steps back. He studies the shape. He visualizes the outcome, and only then does he chisel with precision. Each pause is part of the creation. So too, your life is not defined by how fast you move, but by how precisely you shape your future. Rushing creates fragments. Stillness creates masterpieces. The pause allows you to connect with yourself, to align your deepest values with your present action. When you live from that alignment, you don't need to prove yourself. You move with confidence that comes from truth. Others may question your timing, your patience, your pace, but results will prove the power behind your stillness. Because when you move, it is not noise, it is thunder. Bold moves are often quiet before they are seen. They come after contemplation, not confusion. They are fueled by vision, not vanity. Mastering the pause means you take command of your life in such a way that no outside event can dictate your worth, your direction, or your decisions. You become the calm in the storm, the fire behind silence, the force behind restraint. This mastery is not given, it is trained. You earn it every time you hold your tongue when provoked, every time you breathe instead of break, every time you wait instead of rush, every time you listen before you act. These are not small things. They are acts of greatness in disguise. The pause is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the place where strength gathers before it is revealed. When others demand immediate response, the wise retreat inward. They listen. They align. And then when the moment comes, they do not simply move, they execute with precision, with power, with purpose. In the pause, you do not lose momentum, you refine it. You conserve energy for the moves that truly matter. You protect your attention from the trivial, so you can channel it into the transformational. You become untouchable not because you are louder, but because you are clearer. A master of the pause knows that not every battle is worth fighting, not every door must be entered, not every moment needs action. But when action is required, it is exact, it is deliberate, it is bold, and it changes everything. So train your mind in stillness. Train your decisions in silence. Let your life reflect the strength that does not shout but shapes. Learn to wait, not out of fear, but from a place of deep conviction that the right move, made at the right time, will speak louder than 1,000 rush steps. Master the pause, and you will master the moment. Master the moment, and you will master your life. Because within that stillness lies your true power, and every bold move you make from that place will not just be seen, it will be remembered. There is a sacred moment before every triumph, a stillness that arrives not as weakness, but as wisdom. It is the calm before the victory. To the untrained eye, it appears as delay, hesitation, or idleness. But to the mind of a champion, it is the furnace of power, the chamber where inner strength is gathered and strategy is refined. The world may be moving quickly, but the one destined to win walks with calm purpose, because he knows that patience is not passive. It is the foundation of fierce success. Most people misunderstand patience. They think it means doing nothing. But patience is not the absence of action. It is the presence of control. It is the ability to hold your ground while sharpening your sword. It is the refusal to act just for the sake of movement. It is not laziness. It is discipline. It is not delay. It is development. The greatest victories are rarely rushed. They are not born in panic. They are born in silence, in restraint, in timing that others cannot comprehend. The calm before victory is the moment where the winner prepares to strike, not out of desperation, but with deliberate power. He does not compete with the noise. He competes with his own standard, and that is why his success burns brighter and lasts longer. Success achieved without patience is short-lived. Like fire that burns too fast, it consumes itself. But success built through calm intention is unbreakable. because it is built on roots, not reactions. The one who learns to be calm before the victory builds a fortress within. His emotions do not control him. His fears do not command him. His desires do not derail him. He walks with quiet confidence that comes from preparation. You do not need to be everywhere to become unstoppable. You only need to be aligned. You only need to move when your soul agrees with your steps. The impatient lose their strength in 100 directions, but the calm individual gathers power like a storm preparing to strike. He is not weak for waiting. He is wise for holding. The fiercest success does not explode. It emerges. It grows in the shadows. It matures in silence. It is the result of habits practiced in secret, thoughts trained in discipline, and decisions made with clarity. The world sees the victory and calls it luck. But the one who achieved it knows it was patience. Patience that turned raw potential into refined greatness. Patience is the proof of belief. When you believe in your mission, you do not rush it. You build it carefully, like a craftsman shaping a masterpiece. You do not follow the noise of the world. You follow the conviction of your purpose. And when the time is right, you move, not with doubt, but with authority. That is what makes the difference between temporary wins and lifetime impact. The calm before victory is not emptiness. It is energy in disguise. It is the moment where everything is aligning, where your internal compass is pointing you in the direction of greatness. It is the stillness that invites clarity. It is the quiet before the breakthrough. And the more you master that calm, the more fierce your rise becomes. Life will test your patience. It will offer you shortcuts, distractions, and quick applause. But you must choose the long road, the road of patience, of process, of power, earned through perseverance. That road is not crowded. It is walked by those who understand that slow is not weak. It is strong, it is certain, it is secure. When the world is loud, you must be quiet. When others panic, you must prepare. When they rush, you must reflect. Because true winners are not made in chaos, they are revealed in calm. It is not the loudest who win. It is the most disciplined. And discipline is born from the ability to wait without losing your fire. That fire must be protected. It cannot burn wildly. It must be channeled. And patience is the dam that holds your power until the moment it is most needed. Then, when the dam breaks, your victory floods the world. Not because you were lucky, but because you waited with wisdom. Every battle is won before it is fought. The preparation, the mindset, the patience, that is where success is forged. The calm before the victory is the secret meeting between your vision and your preparation. It is the handshake between faith and action. And once they align, the outcome becomes inevitable. If you want to rise, become still. If you want to lead, become silent. If you want to win, become patient. Then, when the time arrives, rise with everything you've built in the waiting, because fierce success is not loud, it is undeniable. And it comes to those who had the courage to pause, to trust, and to stay steady while the world was in motion. So master the calm, embrace the silence, stand firm in the waiting. Your victory is not delayed, it is developing. And when it arrives, it will carry the power of every patient moment you did not waste. That is the way of the unstoppable. That is the power of patience. That is the calm before the victory. So stand in the calm with unwavering faith. Let the world rush while you remain anchored in purpose. Do not mistake stillness for weakness. Your quiet strength is building something the noise can never touch. Every patient moment has prepared you, sharpened you, and positioned you. When you rise, rise with precision, not panic. Move with force, not fear. Let your success speak not through noise, but through undeniable impact. You are not late, you are ready. The calm was your training ground. Now step forward and claim the victory you built in silence. Let the world witness your fierce success.